Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Ashtotra Shuddha Srimad Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the sum of devotees, all glories to the sum of devotees, all glories to the sum of devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today is the holy appearance, or the divine appearance of Ramchandra, Lord Ramchandra. So today we will read a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, entitled The Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 7, Scheduled Incarnations, and Text 23. Asmat prasada sumukha kalaya kalesha Ikshvaku vamsa avatirya guru nideshe Tishtan vanam sadayatanuja avivesha Yasmin varudha dashakandara artim archat Asmat prasada sumukha kalaya kalesha Ikshvaku vamsa avatirya guru nideshe Tishtan vanam sadayatanuja avivesha Yasmin varuda dashakandara artim archat Okay, word by word translation. Asmat, unto us, beginning from Brahma down to the insignificant ant. Prasada, causes mercy. Samukha, so inclined. Kalaya, with his plenary extensions. Kaleshaha, the Lord of all potencies. Ikshvaku, Maharaj Ikshvaku, in the dynasty of the sun. Vamsi, family. Vamse, family. Avatirya, by descending in. Guru, of the father or spiritual master. Nideshe, under the order of. Tishtan, being situated in. Vanam, in the forest. Sadayata Anujaha, along with his wife and younger brother. Avivesha, entered. Yasmin, unto whom. Virudya, being rebellious. Dashakandaraha, Ravana, who had 10 heads. Our team, great distress. Our chat, achieved. Translation. Due to his causeless mercy upon all living entities within the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with his plenary extensions, appeared in the family of Maharaj Ikshvaku as the Lord of his internal potency, Sita. Under the order of his father, Maharaj Dasarat, he entered the forest and lived there for considerable years with his wife and younger brother. Ravana, who was very materially powerful, with 10 heads on his shoulders, committed a great offense against him and was thus ultimately vanquished. Purport. Lord Ram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his brothers, namely Bharat, Lakshman, and Shatrughna, are his plenary expansions. All 4 brothers are Vishnu Tattva and were never ordinary human beings. There are many unscrupulous and ignorant commentators on Ramayana who present the younger brothers of Lord Ramchandra as ordinary living entities. But here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the most authentic scripture on the science of Godhead, it is clearly stated that his brothers were his plenary expansions. Originally, Lord Ramchandra is the incarnation of Vasudeva, Lakshman is the incarnation of Sankarshan, Bharat is the incarnation of Pradyumna, and Shatrughna is the incarnation of Aniruddha. Expansions of the personality of Godhead. Lakshmi Ji Sita is the internal potency of the Lord and is neither an ordinary woman nor the external potency incarnation of Durga. Durga is the external potency of the Lord, and she is associated with Lord Shiva. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 4.7, the Lord appears when there are discrepancies in the discharge of factual religion. Lord Ramchandra also appeared under the same circumstances, accompanied by his brothers, who are expansions of the Lord's internal potency, and by Lakshmi Ji Sita Devi. Lord Ramchandra was ordered by his father, Maharaj Dasarath, to leave home for the forest under awkward circumstances, and the Lord, as the ideal son of his father, carried out the order, even on the occasion of his being declared the king of Ayodhya. One of his brothers, Lakshmanji, desired to go with him, and so also his eternal wife Sita Ji desired to go with him. The Lord agreed to both of them, and altogether they entered the Dandakaranya forest to live there for 14 years. During their stay in the forest, there was some quarrel between Ramchandra and Ravana, and the latter kidnapped the Lord's wife, Sita. The quarrel ended in the vanquishing of the greatly powerful Ravana, along with all his kingdom and family. Sita is Lakshmi Ji, or the goddess of fortune, but she is never to be enjoyed by any living being. She is meant for being worshipped by the living being along with her husband, Sri Ramchandra. A materialistic man, like Ravana, does not understand this great truth, but on the contrary, he wants to snatch Sita Devi from the custody of Ram, and thus incurs great miseries. The materialists who are after opulence and material prosperity may take lessons from Ramayana that the policy of exploiting the nature of the Lord without acknowledging the supremacy of the Supreme Lord is the policy of Ravana. Ravana was very advanced materially, so much so that he turned his kingdom, Lanka, into pure gold, or full material wealth. But because he did not recognize the supremacy of Ramchandra, Lord Ramchandra, and defied him by stealing his wife, Sita, Ravana was killed, and all his opulence and power were destroyed. Lord Ramchandra is a full incarnation with 6 opulence in full, and he is therefore mentioned in this verse as Kaleshaha, or master of all opulence. Om Agyanativarandasya Garanjana Shalokaya Chakshuvanmaditamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karitivachalam Pangam Langaite Girim Yakripatamaham Vande Shri Gurundijaranam Vancha Kapirubhishcha Kripasindu Beva Chapatitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishtavebhyo Namanamaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Vedigadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I'll read the translation again. Due to his causeless mercy upon all living entities within the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with his plenary extensions, appeared in the family of Maharaja Gavaku as the Lord of his internal potency, Sita. Under the order of his father, Maharaj Dasarath, he entered the forest and lived there for considerable years with his wife and younger brother. Ravana, who is very materially powerful with 10 heads on his shoulders, committed a great offense against him and was thus ultimately vanquished. All right, so So yeah, this is the demoniac tendency, is that, or not the tendency, just the demoniac, this is demoniac behavior, that the materialistic people, they want to take the energy of Krishna and enjoy it for themselves. And practically speaking, everything is actually Krishna's energy. Materially, it's his material energy, or it's his spiritual energy. So, whatever there is in the world, if people try to take that and try to enjoy it without recognizing, without acknowledging who it actually belongs to, the proprietor of that energy, that is, as Prabhupada says here, that is Ravana's policy. And Ravana, that's exactly what he tried to do. He heard about Ramchandra, was out there in the forest, and he heard about his beautiful wife, Sita. Sita Devi. Prabhupada would say Sita G, Sita Devi. He heard about his beautiful wife, Ramchandra's wife. So Ravana, being a very lusty, licentious individual, demon, he thought that, there's Ramchandra, he's an ordinary human being. He didn't think he's Krishna. He's an ordinary human being, he didn't think he's God. He's an ordinary human being, and actually everything's meant for my enjoyment, Ravana was thinking. Everything is meant for my enjoyment. And especially wealth and beautiful women are meant for my enjoyment. That's what Ravana's thinking. So, so Ravana was thinking everything's meant for his enjoyment, and therefore he went to snatch Sita. He went to steal Sita, abduct her, and try to make her his chief princess, which she was absolutely appalled by. She didn't want anything to do with him. And he disguised himself and as a pure innocent sannyasi, and all these tricks there, and then Ram, and there's all this he created all these different tricks so that Sita would, so he could abduct Sita. And interesting enough is that's what he did. He was actually successful on some level, at least, abducting Sita, Lord Ramchandra's wife. So he abducted her, and he was in his chariot. There was some charioteer there, somebody driving his chariot, and apparently there was some mules. That's what was carrying his chariot in the sky. Mules, animals. So what happened is after Ravana abducted Sita, there was one bird, and specifically a vulture, but he was a devotee. He was a devotee named Jatayu. So this bird, this vulture, he saw Ravana and kidnap Sita, and he saw them flying through the sky. So what happened is, in his mind, he said, I have to stop this. I can't just let Sita be abducted by Ravana. I have to stop this. But the thing is, he was elderly. He was old. So he didn't have much fighting strength. And Ravana had a lot of strength. He was young, and so... So he said, I have to stop this. So then what he did is, Jatayu, he flew right by Ravana and Sita, and he started preaching or lecturing to Ravana, saying, you're irreligious, you're taking a married woman, so you have to stop this. And Ravana just wasn't listening to him. He just kept on flying. So then Jatayu, he started to hurl insults to Ravana, calling him, you're just a coward, and you're stealing Sita behind Lord Ramchandra's back, because Lord Ramchandra wasn't there when he stole Sita, so you're a coward. And still, Ravana just kept on going. He said, he wasn't taking him very seriously. So then, Jatayu, he said, okay, well, my last option is that I attack. So that's what he did. So he was thinking that even if I have to risk my life to try to get Sita back, I'm willing to do it. And that's exactly what he did. So he attacked Ravana, although he knew that he wasn't as powerful as Ravana. So it said that he pierced Ravana's arms, and with his beak he grabbed Ravana's hair and he was dragging him around, and it said that Ravana was very embarrassed because he was trying to impress Sita, right? Trying to make her his chief queen, so he's very embarrassed that, oh, this bird, and he's dragging me around. And Ravana, he realized that, oh, this isn't just an old, elderly bird. He said, this is a seasoned fighter, because apparently Jatayu was a fighter bird. So Jatayu, he thought to himself that, okay, what I want to do, or what I plan to do now, is I'm going to immobilize Ravana and attack him and kill him. So he started. So first, Jatayu, he killed all the mules, and the charioteer, the driver, and he destroyed the chariot with his power. And then it said Ravana, he fell to the ground with Sita. So Ravana and Sita were there on the ground, and Jatayu was still trying to attack Ravana. And then Ravana was shooting arrows at Jatayu, shooting arrows. So then what happened is Jatayu, it said that he actually managed to lop off one arm of Ravana's. But then what happened is Ravana's arm, it grew right back. It grew right back. The arm just was long, and then it just grew right back, another arm. And what happened is he had a benediction. It said he had a benediction by Brahma that any limbs that would get cut off or whatever in battle, that they would grow right back. That was his benediction. So Jatayu was a little surprised. You can imagine if you see that somebody's gets their arm cut off and it grows right back. So he's a little surprised. So then Jatayu, because he's elderly, he started slowing down. He started slowing down and getting tired, because Ravana is a very powerful person. So then Ravana, he understood this, he saw this, and then what he did is he grabbed his sword and he cut off one of the wings of Jatayu. And then shortly after, he cut the other one off, both the wings off. So then it said that Jatayu, he fell to the ground, and there's blood and everything. So then he was there, and he was just, and then Ravana, he just grabbed Sita, and through his mystic power, through his demoniac power, he just flew in the sky, and he took Sita. So Jatayu was there laying on the ground, in the process of dying, and in pain. He was in agony. He was a devotee. So then Ramchandra, he was looking, Lakshman, his brother, Ramchandra's brother, and Ramchandra, they're looking for Sita in the forest, and then they come across this entity, this living entity, this vulture. And he's so mutilated that they don't actually recognize him, because they knew him before, but they don't actually recognize him because he looks so bad. So actually it says that Ramchandra, he takes out his arrow. And Ramchandra says that he's thinking that this bird is it's a demon in disguise who took Sita. So he takes out his arrow. But all along, Jatayu, who's chanting Ram, he's chanting Ram's name. So then they look close and they notice it's Jatayu. So then Ramchandra goes up to him and he's chanting his name. And Jatayu, Sita asked Jatayu to tell Ramchandra that I was abducted by Ravana. So that's what happened. Jatayu, he said, I tried my best to defeat Ravana and get Sita back, but I failed, and she wanted me to tell you that she's abducted by Ravana. So then he was still chanting the name of Ram and said that Jatayu actually died in the lap of Ramchandra. And Jatayu had like a parental affection for Ramchandra, like a parent. So yeah, he died, and then Ramchandra performed the last rites, like the funeral rites and all that. So this is an interesting case, because a lot of the times we hear of people who are devotees who they may be going through so many difficulties within their life, going through so many challenges, people may be even trying to kill them. And a lot of the times we hear about these devotees and how they come out successful. Means that they're not killed by the other people and they overcome all their difficulties. Like Prahlad Maharaj, he was trying to be killed by his father in so many different ways. The Pandavas. So there's so many cases in which Krishna protects them from death, and they actually defeat the bad guys, you could say. But in this particular case, Jatayu, he tried his best, but externally, yeah, he wasn't successful. But if we analyze it, he actually is successful. Why? Because he tried his best. And not only did he try his best to do something good, means to defeat Ravana and get Sita back, but he was Krishna conscious or Ram conscious all along. He was chanting Ram's name. He was doing it for the pleasure of Ramchandra, to get Sita back. And in the process of leaving his body, he was chanting Ramchandra's name, and Lord Ramchandra's name, and he was right there looking at him. He's like, Ramchandra was right there. So of course there's the case of Bhishma Dev, which Bhishma Dev was a great warrior, and he was actually on a bed of arrows. And it said that he had such a beautiful departure from this world. And why is that? Because Krishna came. And he was right there at Bhishma's side. So similarly, Jatayu had such a beautiful departure because he tried to serve in the way we just described, and Ramchandra was right there. So it's very, he was actually successful. So also we're hearing that Krishna, he appears in this world. So it's not that God doesn't appear, he does appear. And many people, they like to speculate about Krishna or speculate about God and who is he and what does he look like and all these different things. And they say, oh, he's got a gray beard and gray hair and because he's the king of everyone, like the ruler of the world, he sits on a throne, things like that. So interesting enough is that Krishna, he comes and he comes to this world and he describes, or he shows people, this is me, this is who I am. So in the case with Ramchandra, he's also doing that. And many of us have heard this pastime hundreds of times about Ramchandra. We've heard so many of these histories so many times throughout our lives. And interesting enough is that although we've heard them so many times, they always remain inspiring, and they always remain ever fresh. They never get stale. So Srila Prabhupada, one time he was in New York, and a reporter came to him, and they were talking about news and things like that, and then Prabhupada gave the example. He said, "You print your newspaper on Sunday, everybody reads it, big newspaper, you could hardly carry it, so heavy," as Prabhupada said. And you read it, and then after you read it, you just throw it away. It's finished. And then he said that, but Bhagavad Gita, or Srimad Bhagavatam, he said people have been reading it for thousands of years. And you could read Bhagavad Gita for a whole lifetime and be completely inspired by it. It never gets stale. So that's you could say, the beauty of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the next verse, it says that it describes a little bit more of Ramchandra. It says, and I'll read it here. Because once Sita was abducted, Ramchandra, and it says his army they happen to be like monkeys and bears. And they wanted to go to Lanka to fight with Ravana and get Sita back. It's the long story, but but in order to do that, they went to the very southern tip of India, and they had to cross the ocean to reach Lanka, where Ravana was. So this describes that a little bit. It says, the personality of Godhead Ramchandra, being aggrieved for his distant intimate friend Sita, glanced over the city of the enemy Ravana with red-hot eyes, like those of Hara, who wanted to burn the kingdom of heaven. The great ocean, trembling in fear, gave him his way because its family members, the aquatics like the sharks, snakes, and crocodiles, were being burnt by the heat of the angry, red-hot eyes of the Lord. So he was there on the bank, and he was so angry at Ravana that said that that it was like burning the ocean. On all the aquatics in the ocean were feeling the heat of his anger. And ultimately what they decided was that they would make a bridge from where they were to Lanka. And what they did is, all of his soldiers and everything, they started throwing rocks and boulders, well specifically like boulders, into the ocean. And they were chanting Ram's name all along. And it said that those were floating. Those rocks were floating. Now, of course, people say, oh, well, how is that so? Right? We're also floating in space on this planet. Or at least, I think we are. At least Prabhupada mentions that. He mentions that in one purport, that we're floating in space. So rocks could also float by Krishna's power. So yeah, they were floating. Now, when in the process of this, Hanuman was there. He was throwing boulders into the ocean, and they were floating. So there was one, some say squirrel, or some say, mouse? But we'll say squirrel. So there was a squirrel there, and the squirrel was throwing little pebbles into the ocean to help make the bridge. So when the squirrel was doing that, Hanuman said to the squirrel that, I think it was squirrel, yeah. Said to the squirrel that you're throwing these little pebbles, but I'm throwing these big boulders. So in other words, like, move out of the way. And Ramchandra, he overheard that, and then he told Hanuman. He said, Hanuman, he said, you are doing your best by throwing these big boulders, and you're wanting to serve me in the best way. And this squirrel is also serving in his way, the best way he can, by throwing these pebbles. So I accept the service as the same. And then Ramchandra said, by the way, it's actually by my power that all these rocks are floating. It's not your power, it's my power these rocks are flowing. So that's an interesting point. So yeah, the point, the what we could gather from that is that Krishna, he's interested in the service and not exactly what we're doing, but how we're doing it, specifically with devotion, and also according to our capacity. So everybody has their own capacity. Everybody has their own service they could do to Krishna according to their ability, just like the squirrel and Hanuman. So yeah, it's a special day, and there's many things to talk about and think about in relation to Ramchandra. There's a book, Ramayana. Everybody could read it. If they haven't read it, they should read it as soon as possible. Very inspiring book, exciting, you could say, book. And Bhaktivedanta Swami, he compiled one English translation of that book, Ramayana, and a few other devotees. So yeah, it's a very important day, and it's a time to celebrate and also get absorbed in thinking about Ramchandra and the past time and what happened and why it happened. And so I just said a few words about Ramchandra, and then tonight we'll have a big festival. It's a fast day today until moonrise. So everybody could be looking out when the moon comes out, and then they could break their fast. And if they can't fast from, if they could fast from food and water, that's best. But if they have to have water, fine. And but it's good to fast actually, if possible, if the mind doesn't freak out. So does anyone have any, big festival tonight, a lot of people, so we could get ready for the big celebration. So does anyone have any questions or comments? Lord Ram was also greenish, apparently. Complexion was greenish. So, and also, he was in the forest, so that's why you have these little, whatever you call them, trees. So give like a forest atmosphere. Green, too. There'll be a lot of green today. See the green outfits. There'll also be a lot of green prasadam. Like chutney, cilantro chutney, and spinach and all types of things. So, yes. So if you want, you could dress in green today. Yes. Yeah. The 4 expansions? Okay. Pradyumna, Sankushan. Yeah, so it says that the brothers of Ramchandra are Vishnu Tattva. So that means that they're in the God category. It means they're expansions of God. And then Prabhupada says that originally Lord Ramchandra is the incarnation of Vasudeva, Lakshman is the incarnation of Sankarshan, Bharat is the incarnation of Pradyumna, and Shatrughna is the incarnation of Aniruddha. So Lakshman is one brother, and Bharat is one brother, and Shatrughna is one brother. So he has Lakshman, Bharat, Pradyumna, Shatrughna, and who else? Lakshman, Bharat. Yeah, 4. Yeah, so Vasudev, Sankarshan, I'm getting to that. Vasudev, Sankarshan, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just trying to find it. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. So Krishna is the original person, the Supreme Personality of God, the original personality. And then from him, Lord Balaram comes. And then from Balaram, all the other expansions come. So these expansions are Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So these are all coming from Krishna. So there are different expansions of Krishna, and it says that Krishna has unlimited forms. So Ramchandra is one. All these different forms, like we have Mahavishnu, we have Chirdakshaya Vishnu. So we have the super soul within everybody's heart. So these are all different expansions of Krishna or Vishnu, all in the Vishnu category. Now, in terms of the personalities of Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshan, I'm not so familiar with what they do and why they do it and how they do it and so many things like that, but they're expansions of Krishna. Ramchandra is Krishna. I mean, Prabhupada says Ramchandra is a full incarnation with 6 opulences in full. Incarnation and expansion. You know who's really good at all this incarnation, expansion? Dravida Prabhu. So we need him here, but he's not here. But the thing is, there's certain you could say personalities of Godhead. I mean, Prabhupada said it is a full incarnation with 6 opulences in full. So Krishna also has those 6 opulences in full, which are, right, wealth, knowledge, renunciation, strength, wisdom, and beauty. So he has all those in full. It says Ramchandra also has all those in full. But one thing, because we're followers ultimately, at least within Gaudiya Vaishnavism, mainly we're followers of Krishna. So Krishna has these in full, as Prabhupada says Ramchandra also has. But Krishna, it says that he manifests them in a very unique way. And that's why Krishna is considered to be, you could say, the topmost. Because his ability, like for example, it says that Sita, it says that Ramchandra, he only has one wife, right? What is it? Ekapatni means one wife, Sita. So all the other women, they just they don't have that relationship with Ramchandra. They can't. It's against the law, because he is acting as even kings though. In previous time, kings would have many wives usually, but still somehow Ramchandra just had one, Sita. And interesting enough is that very interesting. The sages of Danya Karanya, I mean, although they're in male forms, it's a little interesting, a little, you could say, difficult to understand, but Prabhupada says that this, within oneself, one can be desiring a conjugal relationship with Krishna. These were male sages. They were men. Now, it wasn't that there was some, they expected to, it's not like they had some, forgive the example, that it was like some homosexual thing or something. Forgive the thing. But it's a spiritual thing, a spiritual internal mood in which they wanted to have that experience, in their next life, being women, have that experience with Krishna or Ramchandra. So therefore it says that some of the gopis of Vrindavan, They were actually, in their last lives, sages in the Dandakaranya forest, and they became gopis. So of course it's a little, kind of, but that's the idea. But rewinding a little bit, no other women can have that relationship with Ramchandra. Now Krishna, they can. They could have that relationship. So many women could have a relationship with Krishna, a conjugal relationship, as gopis. They could dance with Krishna, right? The Rasalila dance in the full moon night, and there's no restriction of their relationship with Krishna. So therefore it says that Krishna is a full manifestation, because he could completely satisfy all these different relationships. Whereas so many other forms or expansions or incarnations of Krishna don't operate like that. They don't do that. So, yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The 4 special unique qualities that are given in the Nectar Devotion, it says that Krishna playing his flute, very attracting all living entities. So it's a very special thing, the flute playing. And also his childhood pastimes. This is a very unique characteristic of Krishna, his childhood pastimes. Because you don't see Vishnu, I mean, no offense to Vishnu or others, but he doesn't have childhood pastimes. He's Vishnu, he's a master and 4-armed, right? Very powerful, most powerful. So he has these childhood pastimes, and the beauty of Krishna, very unique beauty, like the cowherd boy, Krishna. And also he's surrounded by devotees who are on the highest level of love or prema bhakti. So these are the 4 unique characteristics that Krishna has that all the other incarnations, expansions don't have. So therefore Rupa Goswami, he's encouraging everyone to go to Krishna. Now, of course, some people may have natural attraction to Ramchandra, and that's not bad. That's not like, it's good. It's wonderful. It's beyond good. Like our friend that came this morning, what's his name? Mr. Sharma, the Indian man in the back. He's completely attached to Ramchandra. He's a devotee of Ramchandra and Sita and Hanuman and Lakshman. He's all, thinking about them. He chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, and he's thinking about Ramchandra. He's attached to Rama. He's always been like that for years. So some people are just naturally like that. But the chanting of Hare Krishna, whatever form one's attached to, it will nourish that devotion within them. If they're attached to Ram, it will nourish that devotion. And you had that example of Murari Gupta, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Leela. Murari Gupta, he was a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya was advising him to worship Krishna. So then Murari Gupta went to his house and he was trying to worship Krishna all night long. But he's so attached to Ramchandra. So then he was thinking, maybe I should just give up my life. I can't follow Lord Chaitanya's instructions. So he went back to Lord Chaitanya and said, I can't follow your instructions. I've been trying to forget Ram and I can't. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I was just testing you. I was just showing your glories that actually you're Hanuman. So in his last life he was Hanuman, and now he became Murari Gupta. So I said, you're a great devotee of Lord Ramchandra. But Rupa Goswami is encouraging Krishna, 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 but some people may go to Ramchandra, some people may go to Lord Nrsingadev, so. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So does anyone have any other questions or comments? What's for breakfast? Nothing. Unless, there's fruit, and olive, if people want that. But okay, so Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Lord Ramchandra ki jai. Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai.